Hello? Can anybody hear me? Let me unmute all of you people. This is Uncle Solosef.
I'm ignoring you.
Uncle Solo, good afternoon, brother.
Go how far?
I did, Jerry. So I say, how it's gonna work, and I say I'll just hand over the hosting to you.
Okay.
Just before we start. And that would mean you just start hosting and adding people, because I would then lose the rights to add people to the meeting once they stay in the lobby.
All right.
Yeah, so you have to start
adding people
one by each.
So how would I know those who are waiting to come in?
There'll be some indication on the upper right side where you'd see somebody waiting in the lobby. You see XYZ waiting in the lobby or something like that.
Okay. I've not done this for a while, so TY is supposed. Okay, she's muted.
Yeah. So, hi, gentlemen.
Hey. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Cool. What are you doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too.
Happy Sunday, TYT. You good? How is Patience now and the kids that are no longer kids now? They are probably big boy and girl now, Femi.
They're doing their thing. They are all downstairs.
She's gonna come and join me shortly. But the kids are driving her mad downstairs. More sawasi by.
Yeah, no, me. They know once I'm doing any webinar, they should stay away. So
this is my place of safety.
Yeah, same for me as well. TY is driving. I'm liking that.
But easy. When you're large, you're in charge.
Not normally. Well, I mean, the previous ones that have been done, I haven't always been able to attend because Nathan plays soccer about this time.
Oh.
So yeah, most times I try to join wherever I am. I'm lucky with it. So
crazy, very. These weekends, for parents, weekends are not weekends.
No, weekends are not weekends.
They're extra working days.
Weekends are to sort your kids out.
Extra working days.
So wait, Yetunde's surname is Olagbuju.
Olagbuji. Buji.
Olagbuji. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on F1 as well. If I can, well, I wouldn't be able to see the turn one. See the first, who gets to the first corner. I don't think I'll before the
okay, let me admit you today, and then I can hand over to Femi. So I can go and be drinking coffee while you people are talking.
You can go and drink coffee.
Yesterday should be in right now. I just admitted that yes, she is.
Yes, she is connecting audio.
So now I'm gonna make Femi the host. More make host. So everything will be all into you. Now, if you want to pin, then you can pin whoever is speaking to. If you right click on their name, or there's these three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you go to more right beside their name.
Have you put me as the host?
Let me make you the host now. Yep. Now I'm changing the host to Solomon.
Host now.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Look at the names there. You see more.
Yeah, I've got there. Pin video.
Yeah. So you can either pin the video for the speaker, or you can make anybody as a host if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, as usually serious. Good evening, man. Good evening, ma. Ekalema. You're muted.
Muted. I've asked her to unmute.
Okay. You're on mute.
Okay. She's no longer muted. Ekalema.
Melissa,
Are you in the office?
no,
This
no,
one that you have books and books and books on your shelf.
no, my children's books, David.
What's people that make us feel unserious?
I tell you, Sunday afternoon, see books full her back. So like, what's going on here?
This is where my children read.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Apple didn't fall too far.
I'll be sharing my screen. So I don't know. Maybe you can make me one of the hosts too, so that I can share my screen.
How many hosts can you have? I don't know.
You can have as many now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So am I still the host? I thought I'd handed over to yesterday, and yesterday is the host here. I'll be to Femi.
So, to Femi, Femi can add me.
Okay.
It's saying make Yetunde the meeting host.
No, don't make me the meeting host. A co-host.
It's not showing me that option, though.
It doesn't show that.
Hi, Yetunde. It's only the host that can share, but the host for this meeting also has to admit people again.
See why? I'm losing you.
Possible you can send that and then he can share the screen. Would that be possible?
Okay, I should share the
send an email of your slides.
Okay,
to him.
To Professor.
And then he can share his screen.
Oh, how do I share the screen? You guys are giving me too much work.
I'm sorry. Did not know.
Okay, so who do I send the slides to?
It has to be the host that will share the screen. That's the only way we can share slides.
Okay, I can share screen.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so can you send me your email?
FemiAbe@hotmail.com.
At hotmail.com. Okay.
So when I share the screen, what am I looking at?
People will then see your screen as a presentation.
Wow. Share computer screen for no, this one is not. So if she sends it to me, it goes into my email. How do I get it to be able
to open it on your computer as a window, then start presentation and then share the screen?
Okay. Have you sent it?
No, I'm sending it.
Okay.
Because then right away, you will just have to be the operator for yesterday when she wants the screen moved.
Okay. So I don't feel they sip some things.
I think there should be a way to set it so that everybody can actually share slides.
It's not happening.
Don't worry. Give me a wee bit of time.
I'll give you a wee bit of time.
Can I find it? Okay. Don't worry. That was something else. That was something else entirely. It wasn't supposed to be that. Okay. I still have the power to share screens here too, strangely enough.
Okay. So
let me copy you, Alaba.
Yeah, you can send it to that way.
That would be helpful.
I should send it to
where?
You can send it to my personal email or AUMed.
Personal email now is what?
What if you say chat box? Just the AUMed email.
Okay.
So I can share immediately. Let's try that, see if it works. Solomon Abe has joined the personal meeting. Yes, I agree.
Oh, really? It took its own time.
No, I only just opened the mailbox now. So
okay.
Do we have anybody waiting or none? Just yes.
No, not that I can see.
There are 5 participants, yeah. So only 5 at the moment. Let's see. Jim. Tweets. Instagram.
Sent to. I've sent it.
Okay, just waiting for it to come in now. So that change in time zones really caused a bit of headache at first because I wasn't sure whether people had jumped backwards or jumped forward. All right, got it.
When do you guys change time?
We changed last week Sunday.
Okay.
So let me just practice putting up my slides right now. Oh, the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
I didn't enable anything.
So you have to enable it.
How? How?
Wait, so how be daily? Hold it, just hold it.
Are you guys seeing my email?
We are seeing your screen.
Okay, no, that's not what I want you guys to see. Okay, there it is.
So if you've enabled screen sharing, then everyone can share. So how you see setting? I want the problem, right? How can they look like Abino? What is it?
There's multiple.
Okay, now I can share screen.
Okay.
So yesterday you try to share and see if it works.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. You're kidding me.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
Although don't not be sharing all this GT bank account, please. All this money you are sharing, all this money all this money you are sharing, please. So we can see your desktop right now.
Okay.
This one now big desktop.
It's a very busy one. This is how you know busy people. So you have to select the right window for sharing.
Okay.
I think Atom has just joined us. Thank you, Atom.
It's been available for a while now.
Yay, you've done it yesterday.
Yeah.
You've done it. Cool. And Muiwa Tegbe has finally carried his big head into this meeting.
When he starts to attack you now, you start saying
No, I just like to look for trouble. But yeah, I'm going to stop making noise and stop my video so that you people have more useful bandwidth.
Ayé tí màmá ṣó ń gbàdúrà ni.
she's praying that people like you don't disrupt her.
No, my love for Yetunde is still sky high. So don't worry, I will allow her.
Okay.
Where is everybody now?
Don't be believing those kind of people yesterday. Jesus told us about them before.
Jerry, Judas, Judas is carrots.
Yeah.
Tell me what's up, Alaba. How now?
Doing well, doing well.
Oh.
How you doing?
Èwo ni kíkí àbòsí Àlàbá.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is Lola.
Lola, you are doing well, honestly. I like the voice. Hello, everybody.
Hey, you peoples. Hello. I keep to time.
We've not got too many participants at the moment, and it's more of ourselves than even the people that we want it for.
The kids have not joined yet.
No,
Well, they're not kids, but they are kids relatively too.
They're kids are big. I was talking to a guy a few weeks ago, and then I told him I finished it for 2005. The guy started to double immediately.
Oh dear.
The guy's a medical doctor, can you imagine? I was like, I thought you were young, that no. But he was about 4 years by the time I joined. I finished different. So
Wow.
you have to put that into perspective as well. So yeah.
So really, what's going on? We usually don't have them this late. Is it a time change or something?
That's what I'm wondering. I sent Lekon a message about 2 hours ago, and he said he got the message and he got the time correct. So I hope it's been sorted out.
I think
Our Lekon or another Lekon.
Lekon last Sunday.
Yeah,
I sent the direct link. Yeah.
Does he help with anything on the first side?
Oh yes, he's the major link for this stuff in Ife right now.
Okay.
And he speaks directly to the students and everything.
So just kind of like to contact the students and make sure that they're aware of.
Yeah, because what he said was he wanted a link directly, not that they needed to start typing in numbers and passwords. So that's why I put the link on all the forums at the same time.
As in a link they can just click on and then they're on there.
Exactly, and get into the meeting.
Okay.
I suspect time zone changes would have been a bit of trouble. Because even
I in the UK as well.
Yeah, we changed last week already, so this was easier.
Oh, yes,
We are 1 hour behind, so behind Lagos at least.
So Lagos is what time now?
8 p.m. It should be past 8 right now. Yeah. 10 past 8 at this moment.
Yeah, that's a bit late for them as well.
That might be a huge factor.
It is, I think it's a huge factor. It's always 8 p.m. in Nigeria. So we left it at the same time in Nigeria to make it easier. Since they've not had any change. Yeah.
Oh, they've not had any change.
No, they've not had any change. So we just had to work around that time. Like for me, this is an hour earlier than we usually do it.
Let's give them a little while.
People can just continue listening and after missing each other's faces for a long time.
Abimbola Onibi, welcome. We will get started as soon as we get some more people. But I think we'll put a hard stop to it for waiting till about 15 past the hour. If no one else joins us, then we'll just have to make a start at that time.
Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Does anybody follow Formula One?
Oh yes, I saw the end of the practice yesterday. I was surprised at the practice yesterday.
I'm sneaking a peek. My guy is not doing well, and I'm not happy.
Oh, is Verstappen in front again?
Verstappen is in front.
How now with the two Mercedes?
Hamilton is in second. I'm not very happy.
Well, Emma, don't be vexing.
I wouldn't vex. He's doing his very best, but there's still opportunity. I think it's a 71 lap. Yeah, it's a 71 lap race. There's still time. He's always said you don't win a race in the first lap until you cross the line on the 71st lap. Then that's when it matters. You see who stood.
How come those guys don't have vertigo? 71 laps is the same, doing
going around the same section.
Going around the same thing. Claude.
I know. But they do a lot of exercises. They are physically fit. They're really good on physical exercises and all that kind of stuff. The G-force that they expose themselves to, 5, 6, 7 Gs, almost throw you out of the car. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting more and more people joining us. Thank you everyone for coming. We'll just give a few more minutes and then we'll get along with this. Okay. Hello everyone, and good evening, good afternoon. And for you who are on the other side of the world, good morning. Welcome to this edition of OAU Med Talks, the EDGE series. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to hosting today's. Oh, I do apologize for that. I think I'm getting a phone call. I have turned that off. That will be a tough one because it's linked to my computer. Anyway, sorry for the disruption there. OAU Med Talk, the EDGE series. We have a fantastic speaker in the house. But before I go into introducing our speaker today, as just on a lighter note, I thought to talk a bit about some of the occurrence around the world. One of the things that came to my mind was in light of Man U winning some matches a couple of days ago. These are very rare occurrences, maybe once in a month or two on the average that they do that. And I was just thinking in my head, if they won a game, and the youths in Nigeria begin to shout the name of the coach, Ole, Ghana, Ole, Ghana, 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 Ole, and they are walking towards a police checkpoint. I'll just leave you guys to consider what the outcome of that would be. The other thing that came to my mind was when I was reading the newspaper and then, I was checking my mails on Sky News, and it says that Elon Musk, I don't know if you guys know who this extremely rich man is, he was tweeting that people should determine if he should sell 10%. This is an extremely rich man on an extremely rich man's platform telling poor men like me and you if he should sell 10% of his shares in Tesla. How does that one concern me? Whether he sells 10% or doesn't sell 10%, does that change the price of Gary or the price of none of that is going to happen. I think he should just hold his side. Also, I thought I should practice a bit of my dialect. I'm from Elisha. And so I'm going to try to greet you all in Ijesha. For those who understand, you can respond. If you don't understand, that's your fault. Pẹ̀lẹ́ o, ìyẹn ará Ìjẹ̀ṣà, ṣé dáadáa ni wà? Ìyẹn ará ilé ńkọ́, ṣé ní gbádùn? And also to introduce my colleague, it's an absolute pleasure and privilege to have been a classmate of our speaker. I was just saying it, we were in Ife together up until 2005. I can remember those early morning starts, Chemistry 101, I think it was, when we had to go to Ajose at about 6 a.m. And then when you look back at how things have changed, it is an absolute pleasure and honor to introduce a colleague of mine. You know, I'm not talking about someone who's senior to me. This is my person. And if you were in this neck of the woods, I would have described that as my personal person. Dr. Yetunde Olagbuji is the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics of Ondo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. She's a lecturer at the School of Public Health, UNIMED in Ondo. She's the CEO, Youth and Health Life Skills Development Initiative. She's also a co-owner of Netcare Multi-Specialty Hospital. She's an author and a public speaker. If you will please join me in giving a virtual clap and welcome to today's speaker, Dr. Yetunde Olagbuji. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I want to greet everyone, and I hope the Part 6 medical students are here with us now. So I really want to thank everybody, particularly the person who conceptualized this idea. We didn't have that in our time, and I count this a very great privilege to be here. And so I will be discussing quickly on the right path. I'm going to be sharing my experience, and I have the slides that I will be using as talking points, and I will be referring to my personal experience. And I also want to say that I still have a lot of dreams that I want to achieve in life. And so this is not like she has arrived or she's there, you know, I'm still a work in progress. So I just wish to share some principles that I've applied in my life. And I believe that when principles are applied, once you stick to how the principles were applied, you definitely get the same results. So let me just rush quickly through the slides. So these are my own, you know, I've put all of this down based on my personal experience and things I've passed through in life. And so I define the right paths in life as the direction carved out specifically for you and by you in the actualization of your dream. I said for you because there are some non-modifiable factors that will determine whether you are going to be on the right path or not. For example, your background. They are non-modifiable. You can't change your background. You can't change the talents that God has given you. You can't change your skills. You can't change your likes and dislikes, you know. But by you need to discover it yourself, because it's not, no one else can do it for you. You can only discover the right path yourself. So there are so many potentials that are just lying dormant. We really need to activate some of these dormant talents and skills to be on the right path. And so that's why I highlighted that for and by. It's something that you have to do actively. It's something that you have to discover yourself. You can't say because I'm married to so, then the person will discover it for me. No, you have to do it by yourself. And it's unique to you. Your right path will definitely be different from mine, regardless of whether we are from the same parents or different parents or whatever. So everything, you know, the outcome is the actualization of our destiny. We all have different things that we have been carved out to achieve in life. So for me, let me use my personal experience now. I discovered my purpose very early in life. As at 400 level, I knew I was going to be a public health physician. All the time, people were saying, come over, me, I wasn't looking at community health like that. I saw it as something that I'm going to, eventually specialize in. So as far as 400 level, I was already preparing my way. By the time I got to 600 level, I knew that I needed to climb on the shoulders of those who had gone ahead. So I picked a mentor, and that's how I came about Professor Fatisi. That's why he's my mentor till today, and he has been mentoring me ever since. I've been asking questions, all along the journey. He has just been there because I saw ahead of time what I was going to become. And so I feel it's really better to discover some of these things on time. And, for me, after I left medical school, I knew I was going to be a public health physician. And I had also some ideas about where I was going in life. And so that also determined who I was going to get married to. Because I saw myself as someone who's going to be there, out there. And so I didn't need anybody who was going to, cover me in any way. I needed someone who was also purpose-driven, who will understand when I say I want to do this, he will be able to understand me. And so, thank God, I got that kind of person. And so as far back as when I was a copper, he told me that, in fact, I can't really say that I'm half as purpose-driven as him, because he told me that before I finish service, I must do, my primaries. And I did my primaries, myself and Tayo now, we read for primaries, that's in community health then, and I passed the 2 colleges. So I did that, well before I even finished service, youth service. So what are the characteristics of the right path? Like I said before, I think it's unique to you. The way we are different is the same that our paths are different in life. No one can discover it for you. You need to sit down, find out what are your uniqueness. What are you good in? What do I do stresslessly? You understand? These are things that you need to discover on your own. And you can't do it in the public. You need to, have a private place where you discover your uniqueness. Then you must have personal visions. My vision in life is to just impact people, particularly young people. That's what drives me. It motivates me. I don't care whether I get money or I don't get money. I go all out, and because it gives me fulfillment. When I go out to give a talk to young people, when I come back, I'm always excited. You would think that somebody gave me $1 million, but that's just what keeps me going. And I'm always, motivated to keep doing this every time. And all the things that I've achieved in life, they were driven. I could say that I'm driven by me. Let me say the lecturing job that I took. They didn't call me to be a lecturer. I just felt that as the director that I was, I've been a director now for 9 years. And because I discovered my purpose early, when I finished residency, I told myself that, okay, before I entered residency, I was going in, I said, I'm going to spend 4 years on the dot. Nothing more, nothing less. So what do I need to achieve this? I told myself, okay, you're going to give birth no more than 1 child. You cannot cope with more than 1 child during residency. So I said, okay, only 1, because with community health, you go everywhere. You go to Abuja, you go to Lagos, different places in Nigeria that you visit. You go to Warri, you spend 1 month in Warri, 1 month in Abuja, 1 month in Lagos. So I said, no, I have to, plan my time very well, so that on the dot of 4 years, I'm going to end this. And I'll say that I think I was the first person that actually met that goal, that personal goal I had for myself. And it still boils down to personal goals, core values. You must have personal goals and core values. to be able to achieve some of the things they want to achieve. I remember then I had a very good friend during residency, and we were very, close. We're always doing things together. You know, during residency alone, she had given birth to 2 children before then. She had 2 other children in residency. I told her, I said, I want to finish by 4 years. You are, it depends. We all have our different goals. But for me, I needed to move because I did residency in Benin. So I didn't really like the environment. I didn't like the place. I just wanted to move out fast. So I had to leave her at some point. I went to do part 1 and left her. And after I finished, one month after, I got a job with the Ministry of Health there. And 6 months after I entered, I became the very first public health physician to be employed into civil service in Ondo State. And for me, it's been, of course, not because of anything that I have or anything, special. There's nothing really special about me, but it's just that God has helped me to be able to, have a vision and to move with it. Then I also have some core values that drive everything I do. Integrity is one, and honesty is another one. I have those core values that shape me, and they decide the everything I do. Before I take any step, I think critically about the step I want to take. I live my life, intentionally. Whatever decision I make is deliberate because I have a vision I want to achieve. So I was talking about the lecturer job. I just felt that as a director, there was no, nothing really much was coming as I expected. And so I just wanted to give out. I just looked at it. Okay, Professor Fatusi is the VC of Unimed. I just went to Mr. I just want to give out. I just cannot remain in one place without doing anything. And he said, no problem, you can come over. You have all it takes to do it. And I went, and till now, I'll tell you, he has called me several times to come and collect my money. I've not gone there because that's not the reason why I went there in the first place. I'm not saying money is not good though. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that some things drive you that, even beyond you, you are just self-motivated to keep doing what you want to do because of the personal vision that one has. Then another characteristic is that it gives you fulfillment. Like I said, what gives fulfillment will be different from my own. And but you must also discover yours. It's not motivated by external gratification. It's not money, but driven by internal motivation and passion. I'll tell you, during my service here, I served in Omuaron in Kwara State. I joined the peer educators trainers by UNICEF and organized by UNICEF and NYSC. And I'll tell you, all the money I made during house job, I spent during service. Because before we saw that they were not ready to support us. The HIV program in that community was just moribund. They were doing nothing, practically nothing. So we took it upon ourselves, we're educating young people, going to schools, related billboards, everywhere in the community. I was going to the traditional ruler to talk and all that. And the funny thing was that even after we finished, 3 of us were involved in this activity. When we finished, 2 of them were recommended for NYC, what we call achievement and award. But my employer did not even recommend me, but I didn't mind. I kept doing what I was doing because I wasn't just bothered about whether anyone, I was just, what was driving me was my passion. And there's no consideration about people's opinion or feelings. Let me also give a good example that comes to mind. During my residency, normally, all the residents, of course, you want to pass, so you must do their master's in public health. I was the only resident that did not do it. Even as a chief resident, I didn't do it. Why didn't I do it? I saw myself beyond the shores of Nigeria. I saw myself impacting, beyond the shores of Nigeria. And I felt I don't need all this local qualification every time. I have one in Ife. I have one I did residency in Benin. I needed something international. So I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to, when I have money, I'm going to study abroad. So some lecturers didn't like it, but I didn't care. Sincerely, I was not bothered about their opinion because I knew where I was going. And thank God, I went for exam and I passed once. So, you know, when you are on the right path, you know, you don't really consider people's opinion. And I want to tell you now, of course, I feel like traveling. I always, you know, I know someday I will, you know, I'll probably relocate or something. But what has not made me taking that step? I've tried to take, you know, some steps, but what has really slowed me down is because of my passion, my personal vision. I'm just trying to see how I can integrate, still doing what I'm doing. Of course, it may not be that easy, but I'm so, you know, my personal vision is just all over me that it's very impossible to make any decision without considering my personal vision. Then the other thing is that sometimes your right path may not be attractive. I want to say that all the things I've achieved, whether be an author, the Youth Health and Lifestyle Development Initiative NGO that I established, were born out of pain. And let me explain this. When I entered into the ministry, of course, as I said, I was the first consultant public health physician to be employed into Ondo State Civil Service. So of course, there were a lot of, you know, envy here and there. People didn't like me, you know, and because I was this Mrs. Straight kind of person. So they didn't like me. There was a person I greeted for 6 months. She didn't answer me. I kept greeting her. I didn't mind. You know, I just ensured that I maintained my humility. I'm always greeting them and all that. So it got to a time that, and they also saw that I knew what I was doing. So I became a serious stress to almost everybody, even my boss. So it got to a time that they sidetracked me completely. They would pass files, I won't see any file, you know. It was just going like that. So I now decided, because after I finished residency and I said I was going to do an international master's, I became engrossed with the ministry work. I will not sleep, I will be working and working and working, you're trying to do this and that, and I forgot about myself. So when they now sidetracked me, I now sat down, I said, what are you going to do with your life? Is this how you are going to end your life because of ministry work? You know, I just woke up. And I remember that I wrote my first book before I started residency, but I went to keep it somewhere. I didn't even remember where I kept it. So immediately I got into that situation. I just woke up. I went to look for my first book. I, you know, edited it, published it, packaged it, and published it immediately. I did that. And I was afraid for it, why I was, you know, reluctant to do the master's because of English test. I didn't want to do English test. I just went, I started reading. Immediately, I went to do the English test. I passed. I started master's in University of Liverpool immediately. I finished 2018, to the glory of God. So I finished there. And what also brought out the PhD part, because I didn't want to do PhD, I was not, because he's always pushing me to do more. I didn't want, you know, I just tell me, please, this master, some power as in I want to make money with it before I do any PhD. You know what happened? They kidnapped my son. And that was how PhD came about. You know, almost all the things I've experienced in life have been born through pain, serious pain. And, you know, that's how I sometimes realize my right path. So right path may not be attractive. Sometimes it may not be. It may just be, you know, I mean, what the shining part is will just be under. Maybe a veil will be covering it. But if you don't remove the veil, then you can't actually discover what is under. And so that's how my life has been. And so when I begin to have challenges, I look within myself to say, what is the message that this challenge, what is it passing, the message that this challenge is passing across to me. That's what I try to help and ask myself. So I've been involved in a lot of personal development then I've been, you know, of course, at a point I got fed up with ministry work. I wanted to leave, but of course I've not had any release in my spirit to go. And so I've been doing a lot of personal development. I can do graphic design. I blog, I have my own blog. I started it myself. I do a lot of, social media work, research and all that, just to, build myself while, package myself and make myself better while I, wait for a new season to emerge. So let me just quickly refer to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The basic needs of every human being is physiological. You want to eat, you want to clothe yourself, housing, those are the basic needs. If you look at the triangle, these are the base of the triangle. The next is safety, next is love, belonging, and esteem. Those are basic needs of any human being. And if you see, beside it, you see that motivation decreases as needs are met. And you see that motivation decreases. Once you get food, then you are no longer motivated. You will now be thinking of the next thing. And so it is for esteem, love, safety, and physiological. Once your needs are met, then you are no longer motivated. So, and they are called deficiency needs. So, but for every human being, what is at the peak is the self-actualization. And all of us, when our needs are met, we are motivated more, and our motivation increases. But for all of us, at this point, when we are chasing the basic needs, many of us may, choose the wrong path because of the basic needs. Then that's when some friends will suggest to you, most of us, our finance, money, I'm not saying those things are not important, they are important, but we tend to lose it while chasing those basic needs. And at the end of the day, you now begin to wonder why a medical doctor will commit suicide. Sometimes is not being able to, meet that self-actualization need. That may be the reason. Some are not just fulfilled. After getting the money, you now ask yourself, what next? So at this point, one really needs to be careful while chasing those basic needs so that one will not forget the critical need, which is the self-actualization. So choosing the right path, like I said, I'm sharing from my personal experience. So what has helped me is I have a power source. It's just like it's just like someone who is, you need energy every time to move. And so you need power. For me, my power source is God. And that's the truth. Before I make any decision, I connect to my power source. What are you saying? What are you, what is your plan for me concerning this area so that I don't miss it? Sometimes, like I was explaining before, the right path may be, crowded with a lot of distractions. But how are you still able to maintain that path, knowing fully well that is the right path? Sometimes you might not even know that is the right path. So you really need a power source. Then be purpose-driven. A life that is lived purposefully is lived deliberately. You must not make just any rash decision. You must critically consider your decisions before you make them. Let me give an example. There was a time that when I was trying to look for, a better offer, better place to leave the ministry. So I know one of the, technical leads in the World Bank. So I went to Abuja. I went to the guy's office. I went to meet him. He collected my CV and told me that he would call me anytime there's an offer and all that. So he called me. He said, there's something for you. He linked me up with somebody else, one other guy. The guy gave me his number, said there was an interview somewhere. And so I planned to go. The guy sent me personal, invites for that interview. So along the line, as the day was getting closer, I just lost my peace. I said, what is this? I didn't understand what it really was because I felt I'd asked my husband, he said, I can go. He said, there's no problem. Every people that mattered around me, they said, there's no problem. I should just take leave of absence. Once I get to the place, try to find a way to, get into World Bank and all that. So that was what I planned to do because I saw it as a serious escape route from the ministry. But that thing didn't just let me go. So eventually, I just felt it within me that it was a distraction. And I let it go. I deleted the guy's number immediately because I didn't want anything to take me. Yes, it may look very colorful, World Bank and all that, but it wasn't just right at that time for me. So I let it go. So you must also have a work-life balance. What do I mean by this? I'm going to be referring to the wheel of life. After this slide, I will refer to the wheel of, so that I can explain what life balance means, work-life balance means. In life, you must have priority. What are your priorities in life? Because that will also determine your right path. Right now, there are places I can never walk. It's not possible. Never. No matter how hungry I may be, there are some places I can't walk. And there are some decisions, for example, family. After God is my family, that's the next thing to me. And so the decisions I take, I look directly at how does it affect my children? How does it affect my family? After 3 years of our marriage, my husband, was all over the place, Germany today, traveling around the country. And he also wants me to move. And so he told me, said, you too, do your thing and all that. But I said, I can't do my thing and leave the children. It's not possible. So I have to find a way around it. Don't worry. I said, you can go. Me. Let me pay that sacrifice now. So that's why I did online masters. That's why I did online masters in Liverpool. Thank God it's not on the certificate. It's not written online. So it's the same qualification that we have. Those who went to the site and those who did online. So that's why I chose that path. You understand? So our in trying to get to the right path, we must see how we can have a work-life balance. Don't neglect one aspect of your life or the other. I'll show you the wheel of life. Let me just continue. So you must desist from comparison. Right now, the in Nigeria, doctors are moving. They are flying out of Nigeria. That is the thing now. In almost all the hospitals, they are empty. Nurses, doctors are leaving. And so, of course, you'll be tempted to say, am I not also going to leave? What is it? But in all of this, they said there's a glory of the sun and the glory of the two gives light, but in different ways. So you must discover your own. Am I okay if I travel now, okay, or whatever? Some are going to Saudi Arabia. They're not even thinking of my family, my children, or so many things that we just make decisions on the surface without thinking holistically on the impact it might have on other aspects of our life. Then you must choose with patience. That's another critical, thing that you need to consider when, choosing the right path. Right path sometimes, we don't see it all. We see it in phases. And so if you are not patient, you may lose it. If you are easily carried away by the basic needs of life, you may just miss it. So those are some of the things that I think we need to consider when we are choosing the right path. So this work-life balance. So we have the spiritual part, you have the career, you have the finance, family, health, fun and recreation, friends, personal development. So this is what defines us. These are different aspects of our life. So how do you ensure you balance all of this while deciding the right path? It's something we need to think of. Some have made rash decisions because of basic needs. Their families are suffering for it. Divorce rate is very high now because of some of these things. So we really need to critically consider all of these when we are trying to choose the right path. So features of the man on the right path is confidence. Once you are purpose-driven, then you are confident because your dream may not have, you might not have achieved your dreams, but there's this confidence and this aura of, around you that just makes you, you are just sure that, no, you are going to get there one day. It might be delayed, but you get there. Then they have a tenacious spirit. They never give up. Whatever happens, no matter the challenge, they are just resilient and they never give up. They are self-motivated. Nothing motivates them. Yes, money is good though. I love money, of course. Money is very good. But there should be other things that motivate you outside money. You should be able to, and your personal vision for me should be able to motivate you. Then they are hopeful. Those who have, those who are on the right path, they are hopeful. Yes, I may not be there, but I know that someday, it's just like when you are pouring water on a particular spot on the sand. When you keep, even if it's a drop of water, one day there will be a hole made on that part, on that sand. So that means consistency. When you are consistent, it's only when you are hopeful that you can be consistent. You keep doing this, and I know that, you just be telling yourself that one day there will be a way out. Then they are separated from the crowd. They don't copy. They don't copy others. What is so doing? Me too, I will be better for. So many people do a lot of things based on what is my sister doing, what is my younger brother doing, what is my, all of them, they are separated from the crowd. They don't look at what others are doing. Then they are intentional about decision making. They don't just make rash decisions. They are intentional. They live life deliberately. If a man or a rapper takes a step, you definitely know that there's a reason for that step that he has taken. Then they have independent minds. They don't look around. They know what they're doing. Then they live impactful lives. You have a personal vision. You live your life deliberately to achieve your destiny. Then they are always willing to learn. Like I said, there's nothing I cannot learn. I learn from my children. I learn from everybody. Graphic design. I saw this online. I joined. I learned branding. Then, anything I just learned just to develop myself because I don't know where these things will be handy later. So they are joyful. Yes, because just like when you're on the path and you know that you are on the path of fulfillment, there's one joy. It might not be giving you money, it may not be giving you money, but there's this joy that you just feel, regardless of your circumstance, and you are patient. To get on the right path and to get to your destiny, you really must be patient. It requires a lot of patience and perseverance because sometimes things may just be completely against you and you just be wondering what is happening. And so when you are, tenacious and patient, I'm sure that one, will actually get there. So in conclusion, success on life's journey requires personal discovery, something that you need to discover on your own, like I said before, diligence, doggedness, and determination. It's not just, life is not a bed of roses, so you really need to do all of these things and find out your life purpose and follow it through. So life can be beautiful despite challenges, if only we have the right attitude and make the right choices. So thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olagbuji. That was very, very insightful. There were lots of things that I personally got from what you were describing. Right from the very get-go, you said that you discovered on time what your calling is. And I think that's very, very important. If you're able to identify what your calling is, then you begin to, it's like knowing what the foundation is like, and then you begin to build on that. And that is very, 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 very good. Thank you very much for sharing your life's experience and how you have gone about achieving and picking on the challenges that you have had. A couple of questions I have here. If you do have any question, please put it on the chat, the group chat. But I've got a couple here that I would like to first of all go through. Someone's asked, if I start late, can I make it up the ladder?
Okay. It is said that the best time to do anything is now. Yes, maybe it might have been, you might say, okay, I should have started earlier. But once you realize that you're supposed to do anything, you better start now. So for me, it's never too late. It's never too late. Regardless of the points that you are in life, just start it. You don't need to delay till another day. Just start it at the point where you are.
Thank you very much for that. And yeah, the timing is, another colleague of mine has just put there, Muiwa Tegbe, late is relative. And it's when you begin to compare yourself to someone else, that's when you start to think, oh, am I late or not? It's essentially, for some people, they were young when they determined that they were going to become medical doctors. For a lot of people, it was until after they got their JAM result that they determined that, oh, maybe I should become a medical doctor and things of that nature. So timing is relative. In terms of choosing a specialty, you've got quite some time to determine. You get people who start on one specialty and move on to something else. You get people who even completely leave medicine at some point, not because they couldn't go ahead to achieve what we are achieving, but it's just what they've chosen to do. The passion is no longer there, and they've chosen to go on to something else. Someone's asked, what advice would you have for those who haven't had enough insight into knowing what exactly they want, say in their final year?
Well, I think it's still the same thing. No one can do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. You need to sit down. There are some pointers. Sometimes it's your talent, sometimes your skills, sometimes it might not even be medicine. There are some of our colleagues now that don't even practice medicine. Some of them are into IT world, some with cryptocurrency. A lot of, you must discover what is unique about you. Some people, their parents force them to study medicine. So if you really look deep within yourself and you know that this is not really what you are called out for, then you need to find a niche for yourself, create a niche. You understand? For me, I believe, sorry, this also brings me to another point. I believe that it is not where you are that really matters. Someone said that it's not a cockroach in Nigeria, it will be a cockroach anywhere in the world. For me, where you are, it's just like if there's no light anywhere now, no power anywhere, and you now just light a small candle, definitely that power source, no matter how small it is, people will identify you there. So you need to find a niche. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Have a personal vision. And that's why I said be connected to a power source. For me, maybe that's really helped me. It was that power source that I really connected to that made me to, know a lot of things about myself, hidden and unhidden things. I've discovered those things by being connected to my power source. So you also need to find a power source. I'm not prescribing anyone now, but I'm just saying this guy connect to a power source, and so that you'll be able to find out some details about yourself. Then look at yourself. And sometimes you can even ask your colleagues. They might see some things that you are good in that you are not aware of. Then also, if you are somebody like me, pay attention to your challenges. For my challenges, I've written first book, second book, and I'm writing the third one. You understand? And of course, I knew that I had some form of writing skills, but this potential was completely dormant as a medical student. I didn't know I was going to write, nothing. I didn't think about it sincerely. If not because also I had to look inwards and I thought I could put pen on paper, and I started to do it. So it's not too late. Wherever you are, start planning, but don't think another person will do it for you. You have to do it for yourself.
Thank you very much. Another question here. Concerning following your dreams and chasing money, what advice do you have for someone with pressing financial challenges and is feeling out of options and plans to take a dive into to make some money before coming back, although with the fear of not losing time and the dream altogether? So I guess this person is basically trying to take some career break from medicine or medically related career break and then go on to make some money just because there are pressing issues in relation to their finances. What advice would you give such a person?
Okay, our needs, of course, the basic needs are real. I'm not saying they are not real. Money is good. I'm not saying money is not good. But of course, the temptation is really there. While you are chasing money, you may completely forget about your dreams. That's the truth. For me, you see, there's an I don't want to quote the Bible now. Let me just talk normally. Okay, let me refer to Professor Irabo. I listened to him recently. We had the NMA's annual general meeting recently, so he was invited. So he quoted a study. I tried to look for the study online, but I didn't get it. So let me just paraphrase what that study was about. So he said that I think a study conducted in Harvard University, and they selected like 100 medical doctors. And 65% of them, they didn't have any particular purpose, nothing specific about them. They didn't have any, saying any dream per se. They were just, freelance people. Then another percentage wanted money, as in money or nothing else. While just a small percentage, like 13%, wanted, their purpose. They were just chasing their purpose. And after, it was a longitudinal study. So after a while, they now, went to reassess them again, and they discovered that those 13% actually had made name. They had more money even than those who were chasing money. That was what the study, concluded. You understand? They had more money because you see, yes, money might not be the focus, but definitely money will come. Sure, that one is sure. That's what I know. There are people who just call me from nowhere, from Lagos. They just say, I wanted to speak on so. There was a time that sometime, was it September or thereabouts, or no, July. They just called me from, I was in Ibadan that day. They called me, they said they wanted me to give a talk somewhere. Immediately I finished my 30 minutes talk, they paid me instantly. So money will definitely come, but you must actually, let people know you for something. You understand? Let people know you for something. Let them say, we have a need. Oh, is this person that can meet that need? People have invited me for Port Harcourt. I even sometimes I do shakara, I was like, I'm not going job if you cannot pay me, blah, 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 blah. You understand? How did I start? I started small. I'm still a civil servant. But because of the challenge I passed through, I decided I don't care. Most times I don't introduce myself as a director. I don't, because the director is a temporary position. It's not my position. It's their position. Mine is what, and that's why I do personal development. What I have are the things I've developed myself in. I'm a consultant public health physician, fine. I love adolescents, fine. I'm a blogger, I'm an author. No one can take that from me. All these additional other things, those things for me, they're not it. So, and what will bring the money is there are all of these additional things. You understand? So for me, yes, you might say, yes, chase money, fine. I'm not saying money is not good, but while chasing it, don't forget your dreams, because the temptation is there to forget your dreams. That's just the likely thing. For me now, yes, the money that I want, it must be in line with my own purpose. If it's not in line with my purpose, then I'm not going to take it. There's a lot of sacrifices I make sometimes when I just see that things will just take me way off my purpose. I don't look there. So of course, it's still all of these decisions are still personal.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone sent in a suggestion as well to say that, I'll just read it. What the suggestion is: student can do money making as a side hustle and keep up the groundwork, e.g. studying exams for your main career. Certainly, few hours of sleep and fun, some sacrifice to balance both. And in my own experience, when we were in Ife, we didn't have access to the internet as it is right now. You guys have the world on your tablets, you have the world on your palms. And so it is easier for you to connect. I watch a few of your colleagues or of final year medical students who are vlogging. And depending on how much people or how many people watch your blogs, that's how you get paid. There are multimillionaires who are bloggers. So, you can make money on the side. If medicine is where you really want to be, then you would always come back to medicine. It just has a way of attracting you back. However, you can still complete your medical degree, have the DR before your name, and move into any other passions. A lot of people do not find their passion until much later in life, and experience, whether good or bad, leads you into that. And like Dr. Olagbaji said, once you create a name for yourself, the money will come, irrespective, whichever field you choose. Okay, going on. I'm mindful of time. We've actually gone 1 minute past the hour. I know we started slightly late. We've still got a couple of questions. I hope we can quickly breeze through them. One says, can I practice public health without doing residency?
Well, of course, you can. You can. But like I said, it depends on you. There are nurses who have masters in public health because that's the fastest route to enter into that field. We have pharmacists, and we have so many people, some microbiology, they do public health. It depends on how you want to distinguish yourself. So nothing really says you must do residency. No. For me, these are all personal vision, core values. For me, I felt I didn't want anything to tamper with my esteem. And I felt the way God has carved me, I felt I should be a consultant to be able to face any doctor anywhere, that no matter, regardless of whatever my colleagues are speaking, I should also be able to speak. So I felt going through the residency route would be the way for me. So for me, my esteem is intact. I have to follow that way through. So you must also find out how you can practice, let your esteem not be tampered with, because there are a lot of doctors. Let me tell you, even choose now, community health extension workers, they do public health now. So many of my workers, they have gone to do masters in public health. So how different are you going to be from them? You must actually ask yourself. You understand? So of course, that doctor, no one can take that doctor from you, but how else do you want to impact your people around you? So that's what you really need to need to find out. These are questions you need to ask yourself and find. If it's residency, fine. It's not compulsory you do residency. If there are, you do masters, you do PhD, it's lecturing part you want to take, you can take that route too. So it's everything still boils down to you. What do you want? What will give you that self-fulfillment? What will give you that, high self-esteem? You must ask yourself and be able to fill in it.
Thank you, thank you. Another one, how do you balance all of your responsibilities and passion?
Thank you. So, number one that has worked for me, I have an understanding husband. That's number one, and has worked for me. And so, when you discover your purpose on time, it will actually guide who you marry, because that's critical. I know a consultant psychiatrist that has never practiced one day. She got married as a senior registrar, and after she passed and became a consultant, her husband never allowed her to practice even when she wanted to. So some men can, particularly if you're a woman, and that's why I really love talking to women, because once you discover your purpose on time, it can guide you through your choices. Because we women, we have, our own case is really peculiar. So we must really choose right. So for me, that has worked for me. It allows me to, do what I express myself. It's one pushing me to do most things that I'm doing, It will tell me, oh yeah, go. Sometimes I say I'm not going. I can't leave the children. You understand? So I also try to, sometimes I just temporize on some of the things, but that's the one that's critical for me. Then I do a lot of night work. Once the children are sleeping, I do a lot of night work. Then I use my day. I have plans to achieve, different things. And I try as much as possible to, do different things that I want to do. Then I set targets. Sometimes I set targets. And so when I set targets, I don't know the way my body responds. Once I set targets, I will just lose my sleep for that period, just to be able to meet up. And afterwards, I will return back to normal. So those are some of the things that have helped me, I must say.
Okay, the last question I have received, and I think it's quite important. I know you talked about writing local exams and also, having some international certification. from students interested in public health, health advocacy, and international health with plans to do a master's degree in public health in United States, or let's just say, going outside Nigeria, irrespective of where they want to end up, immediately after service year. What steps can they take from now?
Well, I'm not I'm not sure I know that part because I've not found out about that part because that's not the part me I'm doing. So I really don't know. Maybe Tegbe, who is practicing in the US, may be able to tell us better. For now, I'm still in Nigeria, so I may not be able to answer that question, please.
Thank you, Dr. Yetunde Olagbuji. It's been an absolute pleasure listening to you. And I know that we are talking from the medical perspective and actually focus on public health. And I think, this is about the best time we can have someone in public health speak to us. We're all going through the pandemic at the moment, and we see how well public health has put us on the right path. So thank you very much. The stories you've given to us, the insights you've given to us, the knowledge you've shared with us is not just restrictive to medicine and the practice of medicine. You can apply it in any, sphere of life that you choose to go down. I will just give the rest of my colleagues who are part of this 1 minute. If there's anybody who wants to share some insight, I've just got a minute to give. So it's first come, first serve. Who wants to do that?
Oh, Femi, let me come in here to answer that question. The last question that you posed. Sorry, I was in the middle of something while I was doing that. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay. So if I understand, the person is interested in basically global health with health advocacy and things like that. And so similar to my story as well, that was what I did. I did a master's in public health at Hopkins, then decided to go into health policy. But one thing I've discovered is, or one thing you will find out eventually is that you begin to, that world of global health or international health begins to open up because there are so many aspects to it, very many aspects to it. Public health, when people say public health, I usually ask them, what aspects of public health? What do you mean by public health? So definitely it's a veritable, it's a possible path to toe. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Either send an email to send a message to the email, then we can talk and connect later on. If you need some additional guidance, so that we just don't take everyone's time here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Right. In closing and summarizing, I think what Dr. Olagbuji has given to us today has been very, very insightful. Discovering your path, I think for me was very, very important. And when you discover your path, you have a vision in which to achieve what your path is. And then you begin to put your strategy in place. No man is an island. You need partners. She has chosen a partner, or she was chosen by a partner who was purposeful and driven, and has helped her to achieve her goals and also to achieve his own goals as well. You talked about gratification and you're not moved by money alone. And I think we have to be very careful. Yes, money is good. Money is useful. Money is very, very helpful. But don't get distracted by that. Not, if I gave you, if everybody had $1 million in their bank account, it doesn't mean you will be happy. We still have very rich people who are extremely unhappy to the point of, harming themselves. There were a couple of times you mentioned critical thinking. I did a master's in public health as well in Liverpool, and there's a course that is called critical thinking, where you are taught how to analyze decision-making processes, and you have to be able to break those kind of things down. Deliberate action. Those are the things that you talked about. And I was very glad that you didn't just say that, it was plain sailing. You achieved everything you set out. You did mention that there were some drawbacks that you had. But you know, we are a summation of all of our experiences, whether good or bad. Overall, we find out that in most cases, the good always outweighs the bad. And a good one was also that you need to be plugged into a higher source. We're humans. If you've never prayed, this might be a good time to try it. You know, I'm not prescribing any higher power here or now, but you know, if you talk to somebody who's higher up, if you don't, this is a good time to do. If you have been doing it, I think carry on with that. And I think on that note, I thank you all for being a part of or letting us be a part of your evening or your afternoon. We thank you very much. We will put out notifications for further OAU Med talks. Wish you all a very good evening and a blessed week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,